My name is Marco Nunez. I'm with El Centro de Igualdad y Derechos, and welcome to Hot Seat. I have with me today Antoinette Sedillo-Lopez, candidate for CD1. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, Marco. It's fun to be here.
Awesome.
It's great to be here.
I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and we're going to start with light questions similar to the salsas. We're going to start light, and then we'll get a little heavy.
Okay.
I think this last one has about 160,000 Scovilles, so we'll see what effect that has on us. I wasn't told that I was going to be eating salsas today.
Okay, so you didn't mentally prepare yourself?
Nope, but I think I'm genetically predisposed to absorb some of this. What's the hottest thing you've ever eaten?
The hottest thing I've ever eaten? Probably an enchilada with some really, really hot chili. Yeah.
Okay.
Really hot red chili.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with a little simple Cholula, shall we?
You know, I noticed this is the only
before.
Mexican one. Yeah, this is the only Mexican one.
Yeah.
Kind of.
That's pretty safe.
Cholula.
Oh, good warm-up.
Good. Yeah.
Do you have a hero?
Do I have a hero?
Yeah. Or perhaps growing up, did you have a hero?
You know, my father was my hero
Yeah?
when I was growing up.
Okay.
Yeah. He was, he died when he was 46.
Uh-huh.
But he was just an extraordinary man. He raised 5 kids, built our house in Las Chavez, and was just really a solid person.
Awesome, awesome. Do you have a favorite local beer here in Albuquerque?
I don't drink beer.
Okay.
This is sad.
Where do you get your favorite breakfast burrito in Albuquerque?
At Loyola's.
So if you mentioned your father, but perhaps beyond your father, if you had to ID an experience or a person that most informs your politics, who or what would it be?
John F. Kennedy's speech about getting to the moon and organizing everybody to get excited about going to the moon was really exciting to me. So I think he was pretty influential, and I was a child.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Let's move up another level.
So the
I just had
habanero?
the second here.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a kick.
What is it called?
It's definitely habanero. So just recently, reflecting on what happened, the horrible tragedy in Parkland, Florida. What are your thoughts about President Trump's response? 1, calling the officer that was on site a coward. 2, claiming that he would have run in with or without a weapon. And 3, this proposal that teachers should be armed.
Every day, I think this president can't go any lower, and then he surprises me. I thought his response was horrendous. Calling a security guard who was following procedures a coward was cowardly. Saying that he would run in, if he could, when he didn't even go to, because he had bone spurs, he didn't even go to the military, just shows what a narcissist he is. And then the third thing was, was arming teachers.
That's right.
Arming teachers have a lot to do. And can you imagine, this was a 19-year-old young man. Can you imagine how it would feel if you were a teacher and you had actually shot him, what that would do to you? I can't believe it. And like I said, lower and lower and lower. That's what this man does. They illustrate the problem with money in politics. One of the things that was most disgusting to me was looking at the members of Congress and how much they had taken from the NRA and looking at their NRA votes.
Oh, okay. I just sampled a third.
Scott Bonnet and ginger hot sauce? Queen Magistrate? So is this from Scotland or what?
I'm not sure. Very small print there. What role does the federal government play in reducing sexual assault and harassment? What do you see the role they can play in that?
I think it's really important that we change the culture. One of the things about the Me Too movement was we saw that how prevalent and pervasive some of these behaviors are and what it can do to women.
That's profound.
Yeah.
We're going from the profound to the silly. I've got a couple of really silly questions here.
All right.
Wacky scenarios. Did you try this purple stuff yet?
The purple stuff, what is it?
Don't know. Ghost pepper and blueberry.
Blueberry, so it's sweet and hot?
All right.
Okay. Can you talk?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, good.
Go to the next question here. If you had to choose, cross a rickety bridge with a troll under it or share a dinner with a vampire, which would you choose?
I would share a dinner with a vampire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Because they live forever, right? So it'd be a lot of interesting stories, I think. Then you get to eat. And then they don't eat, so you could probably eat their food too.
Makes sense to me. Topic of immigration. 2 weeks ago, Senate Democrats had introduced a bill to give Dreamers a path towards citizenship, but a bunch of amendments got thrown in there, mainly from the Republican side, but amendments to increase interior enforcement and protections on the border, $25 billion, and really fundamentally shifting the family-based immigration system. How would you have voted and why? And where do you draw the line between protecting Dreamers in exchange for increased interior and border enforcement?
There's no question I would have voted against it. The Dreamers right now are protected by a lawsuit that's been filed, a federal judge who has extended the DREAM Act indefinitely, and so I would have voted against it. And I think that those additions to the bill are really just examples of racism and bigotry. To change the family preference would be something that changes something fundamental about our society, and that is keeping families together.
Yeah.
And then we now have enough border enforcement officials that if you line them up on the border, they could all see each other. What more border protection do we need than that? And I think the wall is a huge waste of money and a boondoggle. It is going to, I don't know who's going to get rich off it. I like to say follow the money, but it's going to be environmentally devastating, and it's not even going to, whatever it is their goal is, it's not even going to achieve it. So I have a lot of problems with it.
Got you. You know, the Trump administration, through the Department of Justice, they've targeted so-called sanctuary or immigrant-friendly cities. And they've done this by using the purse strings, threatening that if they don't comply, if they don't participate using local police and so forth, that they will pull funds around safety. What is your position with regard to sanctuary and immigrant-friendly cities?
Well, I totally support sanctuary cities and immigrant-friendly cities, but the interesting thing about their threats is it's a hollow threat, because we have a 10th Amendment, and the 10th Amendment prohibits the federal government from forcing states to do their work. And so, and there's several cases on this very point. So that threat shows that they don't even understand their own Constitution, and it's really disappointing to see that. So it's a hollow threat, and I think cities should stand up to that threat. Do the research and stand up to that threat.
Awesome. I like your answer. I just tried this. This is okay. I'm not going to drink from it, or maybe I will.
You maybe? Oh my God, you're just showing off.
I told a couple of friends I was going to do this, so this was a dare. Going to labor. Federal minimum wage is at $7.25. The state's minimum wage is at $7.50. Do you think this is sufficient? And if not, what do you consider a living wage?
A living wage is $15 an hour at the minimum, and I support raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour and then indexing it for inflation. Because this minimum wage has not been indexed, it has gotten to be a smaller and smaller share of our productivity and insufficient. I don't think people should work full-time and not be able to make a living.
Great. So in the last half century, we've seen the dramatic decline in unions in this country. You know, New Mexico, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, I think, puts New Mexico at just 6.7% union members in the state. So, one, how do you explain this decline over the last half century, and what role do you feel that unions play in our society?
They are the ladder to the middle class. They have been the ladder to the middle class for my family. My grandfather was a member of a union. My uncles were all members of the union. My cousins and my brother was members of a union. Now the next generation are becoming members of unions, and they have always helped people move into the middle class. And I think when you see the decline of unions in our state, and you also see the decline of the middle class in our state, you know there's a correlation there.
Gotcha.
And that's really important. And so I support unions, and I think that it's a problem that the Republican Party has targeted them, because what they're creating is an oligarchy.
I just graduated to this bottle here.
Okay, and it's
if you'd
good?
like to join me. Yeah.
Okay,
Not bad.
you gonna drink
This
it
one here.
again?
I might. I think I've done two. I might drink a little bit of the 160 if the crowd cheers me on, maybe. So, what do you see as the federal government's role in ensuring quality education in New Mexico? And not just ensuring quality education, but making sure that the quality education is accessible to all New Mexicans.
One of the things that we've seen, even just with the appointment of the current Secretary of Education, is Republicans have been targeting education and trying to privatize it. This is a horrible development. I really believe that every student, no matter what race, class, color, should have access to a quality public education. It's important that everybody have access to a quality public education. And the way the federal government can do that is by investing in education to what they used to invest in. The other thing that the government should do is invest in dealing with the student loan debt
Yeah,
crisis.
for sure. So we have a 2-minute warning, and I'm going to just sort of accelerate our process here if you want
All
to
right.
join me. I just had this guy.
Okay.
You want to join me on that?
Yeah, this was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's okay. It's,
Let me see.
Yeah.
Not so bad?
Yeah. I think you need to get a little more of there. There we go. And then
Not so
let's
bad.
try this.
Okay.
Yeah. Salud.
Salud.
Thank you for the interview. I appreciate your time today. Thank you. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Marco. Bye-bye.
On behalf of the Hot Seat, I want to thank the Sister Bar for hosting this event and to the Digital Arts and Technology Academy.